Thank you, Garrett. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining me today to hear about an important update on school library materials and subsequent policy. Several weeks ago, I announced that we would be taking action to put consistent province-wide standards in place to help guide our school boards in the selection and management of school library collections. This was prompted by concerns that have been raised to me about highly graphic sexual content that had been found on school library shelves, which my staff later verified to be true. Those materials have been shared with the media and were available for Albertans to see for themselves in our news release and in our public survey on the issue. The results of our survey, of course, were published recently on June 20th. Today I'm here to announce that we have created a balanced province-wide standard to ensure school library materials are age-appropriate and free of sexually explicit content. I am confident that these new standards strike the right balance of supporting the important role school boards, librarians, teachers, and staff play in selecting school library materials while setting clear expectations as it relates to sexual content. This is an important step because, and I can't stress this enough, until now, Alberta schools had zero standards for selecting age-appropriate books for libraries. Today, I will walk you through the standards, and then I'll be happy to take your questions. The new standards are set out in a new ministerial order, which is now published on the Government of Alberta website. Under the new standards, school libraries are not permitted to include material containing explicit sexual content. Non-explicit sexual content may be accessed to students in grades 10 and above, provided it is age appropriate. These terms are defined in the ministerial order. School boards must also regularly review their school library collections, publish a full list of all available materials, and ensure that a staff member supervises student access to school library materials. School boards will have to remove any material with explicit sexual content from their library shelves by October 1st, 2025. All school boards must have publicly available policies that align with the new standards for selecting and managing materials by January 1st, 2026. School boards can either create new policies or update existing policies to meet these new requirements. The school board policies must outline how school library materials are selected and reviewed, how staff will supervise student access throughout the day, and how a student, parent, school board employee, or other member of the school community can request a review or removal of materials in a school library. School boards are also required to clearly communicate these policies to employees, students, and parents. Since many school boards already have policies in place, I am confident they will be able to meet these timelines, which have been developed in consultation with school boards. These new standards will apply to public, separate, francophone, charter, and independent schools. These standards will not apply to the 55 municipal public libraries located in school buildings or to learning and teaching resources selected for use by teachers to support curriculum. In May, our government conducted public opinion polling of 1,500 Albertans on the topic of sexually explicit materials in school libraries. 51% said such materials should not be permitted in any public library in the province that is accessible to children. From May 26 to June 6, almost 80,000 people completed our online survey to provide feedback on the creation of consistent standards to ensure the age appropriateness of materials available to students in school libraries. Parents of school-age children were the largest group of survey respondents, making up almost half of the total number of responses. Out of the nearly 40,000 parents who took the survey, 41% said children should never have access to sexually explicit content in school libraries. 22% said that sexually explicit content should only be available in grades 10 and up. The highest proportion of respondents, 23%, said school librarians should decide which materials are age appropriate, followed by 19% who said it should be parents. We recognize there are diverse viewpoints on this issue, and we appreciate every Albertan who took time to share their views. With the policy we are introducing, I firmly believe we have an approach that strikes the right balance. We believe that students should be curious, inquisitive, and exploratory about their world without encountering sexually explicit content in school libraries. The standards we've created provide clear, consistent guidance on appropriate sexual content for school libraries while keeping school boards, librarians, and teachers in charge of selecting and managing library materials. This policy gives clear direction for school boards, teachers, and school staff, and provides greater assurances to parents about the kinds of material available to children in school libraries. This is never and was never about banning books or specific authors. This was never about erasing particular narratives from school libraries. This is simply about ensuring young students are not exposed to content depicting oral sex, child molestation, or other very inappropriate content. We thank all Albertans who have taken part in our surveys and helped to inform this policy. We look forward to working with our education partners to implement the new standards and help make sure that school libraries remain places of wonder, discovery, and learning for students. It's now my privilege to invite Blaine Badiak to the podium to share a few words. Thank you very much.